All right, Shalom Yasharallah, Shalom Israel. Before we go any further within this lesson, I would love to start it off by giving all praises, all glory, all blessings with infinite honors unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahachodash. Yahweh is the Heavenly Father's true name, who the people of this world inly calls God. And Yahweh Shai is the only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father, whom the people of this world inly calls Jesus Christ. I'm going to give double honors to our elder bishops and to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, which rule well and then teach well, with much blessings and salutations going out to the whole for the elect, Tadakim, Wa, for you Akwaf that are tuning in, and then to the men, the sincere Akim, that are laboring within this truth, scour across the four corners of earth, wherever you may be. Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, unto you and to your households within these evil days, these evil times, which we are surely living in. All right. And further ado, we're just gonna hop straight into it. All right, they just had this major, there was this major blackout that just happened from Spain, Portugal, and also it was another country, which I think it was let me see, because we have these articles. All right. It was another one. All right. It was another one. Where was it at? It says, hopefully we'll find it, but they just had a major blackout. Okay, their whole grid, all right, basically powered off, man. So there wasn't, people wasn't able to, be able to drive home due to the lights, the traffic lights not working. Shit, GPS, trains shut down. All right. Lights, electricity wasn't, unavailable for for a certain amount of time, a couple hours, because, this actually happened. I think this happened like 2 days ago or a day ago, and I'm just now getting to it. So this happened, this was published, this article was published the 29th. So that was yesterday, in which, this is still freshly as new. So it says, stuck in a dentist's chair and other blackout tales from Spain and Portugal. Published by the New York Times. It says, even as electricity was restored across Spain and Portugal after a day-long blackout, so it was only like 24 hours, residents tried to make sense of 18 hours of the insanity. Picture of downtown Madrid, all right, which I'm pretty sure that's like Spain. Yeah, Spain. It says, during a power outage on Monday, Rocio Valafina, a dentist in southern Spain, was closing a suture in a patient's mouth during oral surgery early Monday afternoon when the lights went out. Everything started beeping, Miss Valafina said. Her backup generator kicked in, the emergency lights in her surgery room flickered on, and the 36-year-old dentist tried to remain calm. Let's just close it properly, she thought to herself. We're not even gonna read that. We'll probably come back to that. Source is thenews.com.au. Apocalyptic. Millions in Spain and Portugal hit by massive blackout. A major power outage has caused chaos along the Iberian Peninsula, leaving millions in the dark across Spain and Portugal. A massive blackout has caused mayhem along the Iberian Peninsula, stranding passengers in trains and hundreds of elevators and leaving millions without phone and internet coverage in Spain, Portugal, and briefly southwestern France. A state of emergency was declared in Spain in the wake of the major outage, which the country's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said occurred when about 15 gigawatts of electricity, more than half of the power being consumed at the time, suddenly disappeared in about 5 seconds. So it took about 5 seconds for damn near the earth to stand still. All right. More than 60% of Spain's national electricity supply has since been restored, though Mr. Sanchez was unable to say when it would be back completely. And Portugal Prime Minister Luis Montenegro said power would be totally restored within hours. Both countries saw chaotic scenes as a result, with shops and restaurants plunged into darkness, digital payments and phone lines down, traffic lights out, and railways and metro systems brought to a halt. Guys, this is literally insane, Elizabeth Lip said in a TikTok video walking the streets of Barcelona. This is crazy. It feels like the apocalypse in the Sea Ragamuffin times, sort of, when people are not panicking. But this is weird, and it just shows how everything is dependent on the internet and electricity. Yeah, everyone's dependent on the system, man. And this system, which Esau Edom, all right, has built up. All right, really, truth be told, all these people, okay, these people, which, you know, you are the victims, you the prey, man. You're being preyed upon. All right. And these powers that be, these elites, all right, they already have plans for you, man, and what they're going to do, okay, to you in the future, man, in which that time we living in. All right. So the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 15, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. All right. And we understand, man, what this devil's doing. Okay. We understand that this is just not no coincidence or, you know, some fault within the grid. All right. Because, you know, these people, okay, they're in charge of that grid, man. Knowing that, you know, that grid, all right, these that system, you know, brings power to millions of homes. All right. You don't think that shit's heavily secured, heavily taken care of? Okay. And people just think, oh, this is the president's telling you, oh, well, not the president, what is it, the mayor, you know, telling you it was a mistake, you know, something went wrong, it was just a mistake. All right. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said occurred when about 15 gigawatts of electricity, more than half of the power being consumed at the time, suddenly disappeared in about 5 seconds, man. All right. And that's just that just goes to show you, man, okay, how this thing can happen at any minute, in any second. But these people are not prepared for they don't even know what times they in, bro. They don't know what times we in, man. They don't understand that we're at the end. Okay, this is the end times. All right, and I want to make this short and quick, to the point. All right, because Scripture says this. I want to get this. All right. The book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. All right. And guess what? Esau, Edom, these elites, they have a vision. Okay. They have an agenda. They have plans that they've been configuring. All right. Moving and taking away and placing things in order to bring forth these plans. All right. This new system. Okay. This new world order, this NWO, man. From the Georgia Guidestones, okay, to Esau, Edom, all right, these top elites are moving and putting in presidents to politicians to mayors setting up, okay, their little workers, all right, to, feed the masses of the people lies, and to keep you people comfortable in this a state of everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be well. All right. Well, these major blackouts is happening. Okay, city banks, okay, having problems. Some of their customers can't even log in, pull out their funds. In which this whole situation right now, with the whole blackouts in Portugal and Spain, all right, because we can't forget about what happened in Puerto Rico. I think it was Puerto Rico, or was it? Let's look it up. All right, because Puerto Rico, also had a grid blackout. I think it was one of the Northern Kingdoms. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they had an island-wide blackout. Okay. This was April. Man. This is April the 21st. Puerto Rico's government demands answers from emergency companies after island-wide blackout. So this is happening all around the world, man. Okay, in various places. And I'm sure, I think I did a class on this. All right. Who else? I think it was also Colombia. Bear with me for a second. But you will see that this is a or was it Cuba? You see that there's a okay, let me see. They had blackouts in Cuba. Look, Cuba suffers major power outage after sustaining failure leaves millions without electricity. And this was going on for a little minute, man. It was an on-and-off situation with the blackouts that was going on in Cuba. Okay. It says millions of people in Cuba remain without power Saturday after a failure of the nation's electric grid left the island in the dark the previous night. Okay. And I think I remember just reading this article. All right. But, also within another article, it tells you how even when the power came back on in Cuba, all right, after a day to a week, I think it was like after a week or either within, I think it was like either 1 week or either 1 day after the power cut back on, that shit shut right back off. But you're seeing a pattern of these things happening, man, in which nobody, okay, they're not really concerned to the point where where they're seeking answers. Everybody is just okay, they're afraid, they're shocked, but okay, but what happens when the power comes back on? They're back to normal. Just like the whole C19 thing, man. I'm putting back in that the spirit of comfortability, man. All right. So let's get this, bro. Proverbs 29:18, it says, where there is no vision, the people perish. All right. And these leaders have a vision, all right, prepared for you people, man, the people of the world. Okay. He wants to chip and tag and bag you. All right. He wants to own you. Going back to the book of Revelation, chapter 13, it tells you what this devil wants to do to you, man. And how he wants you to be conformed to his grid, okay, to his new world order, his society, man. In which these people are going to willfully do this. These people are going to willfully sign up, okay, and go down to this, man. And guess what? They're going to perish. All right, because they don't understand what's going on. Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish. All right. And that's what's going to happen to a lot of these people, man. Portugal, Spain, Europe, India, America, mainly. Because best believe these blackouts, these outages, they're just foreshadows of what's coming to America. All right. These other countries, these nations, they're just test trials, okay, for the ultimate test when this happens to a Babylon the Great, America. But it says, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. All right. So, because we living in these times right here, man. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. Understand this. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. All right. And that's going into the believers. All right. The men of the Lord, the Akim, the few Akwaf, the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, those who have subscribed to this truth, to the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, in which our elders and apostles have been pushing out diligently for years, all right, for decades. All right. But it says, therefore rejoice. Why? Because we understand, all right, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And we're at the end of this man's society. We're at the end of the devil rulership, okay, the so-called white man, woman, and child ruling the earth, okay, sticking their nose, okay, in others' business. We at the end of this man, okay, and the kingdom of heaven will be established here on this earth through righteous rulership of our Lord Yahweh Shai, who the people of this world inwardly calls Jesus Christ, all right, and his men, the 144,000 elect, the judges, okay, the next rulers of the earth, okay, of the kingdom of heaven, man, to come. It says, ye heavens and ye that dwell in them, okay, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. So death and destruction is about to be coming to a lot of you people, man. All right, and you watch this video, in which, you know, I'm gonna get the video, because the elder Amawan Gabar was going into it. All right, you know, very video was good, man, edifying video. But check it out. Hey, that's the Lord. 144. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's the Lord. Hey, I believe this brother, man. This is definitely a man of the Lord. I believe this man. This is definitely a elect man of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Just like the rest of you brothers, man. That's laboring, okay, sincerely and truthfully on the highways and the byways, okay, and professing and proclaiming the names of the Most High, man, in the begotten Son, the divine majesties. All right. So let's see where we can start this video at. Check it out.
Spent the night sleeping on the ground. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, with the outage causing chaos across 3 countries.
All right, look at those people, man.
Tonight, after one of the biggest electrical blackouts in Europe's history. This is a live look.
Bro, just look at these people, man. Okay, waiting to be taken, man, and you know, they wait to be for the taking. You know, they just look confused and lost. All right, and instantly, all right, this is how, you know, shit can go down and hit the fan, in which these people are not prepared. They're not ready for what's to come. All right, because they don't know what times they're in. They don't even know who the enemy is. They don't know what's going on.
Madrid's main train station. It's just gone 10 a.m. Many of these passengers have spent the night sleeping on the ground. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, with the outage causing chaos across 3 countries.
Traffic chaos and confusion. Drivers stuck at a busy intersection after the lights went out. Underground train networks plunged into darkness. Services brought to a halt, passengers forced to walk along the tracks, others stranded far from their destinations. It's the result of a massive blackout which occurred at lunchtime, spanning Spain, Portugal and parts of France. Tens of millions, mostly across the Iberian Peninsula, suddenly without electricity.
And all the power went out. They evacuated the entire building. We got out in the streets. There was people pouring into the streets.
Melbourne man Craig White and his wife and daughter were inside Madrid's Museo del Prado. The Spanish capital, which is more than 3 million residents, one of the worst affected cities.
All the bars were shut, all the restaurants were shut, you couldn't use credit cards, you couldn't get petrol out of petrol pumps.
It triggered crisis meetings, Spain's Prime Minister calling the outage unprecedented. And hours later conceding, we still have no conclusive cause, while ruling nothing out. Amid speculation of a possible cyber attack, Portugal's power grid operator blamed it on a rare atmospheric phenomenon, where there was an extreme imbalance of temperatures. Whatever it was, it impacted virtually everything from transport to ATMs and internet and phone services. Tourists in Barcelona taking it in their stride.
The Starbucks is closed, so you know right away.
But with many in the dark about when they could expect power to be restored, there was a rush for supplies.
Here's the water aisle. Bro, it's like a...
Look at that, man. That's panic buying. All right? So these people are not ready for these times that we're in. They're not ready for a crisis, man. Okay?
Apocalyptic.
With help from interconnectors, power is slowly returning to some areas, while others have been told it could be days in the dark, even as long as a week. They want their power back. Everybody wants an explanation.
We're hoping to enjoy the rest of our holiday now, but unbelievable night in Madrid.
In London, Edward Godfrey, 9 News.
And there you have it. You know, a few things that was said that stood out to me.
Exactly, man. All right. So Revelations 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, which would be the people for the devil, which is going into the deceiver. All right, which is these men. Okay, these families, man, these elites, these devils. All right, these people that want to see this world reshaped in their image. Okay, a technocracy. All right, a world. Okay, formed by one religion, one world government, one dominance under the evil, wicked people, man. Those who are really ruling, but they want total submission. All right, they want your body, your soul, your spirit, your essence. They want all of it, man. Okay, they want to be like Yahweh Shema Shah, man. All right, and so they're gonna do any and everything put within their power, sanctioned by them from the Most High Himself, Yahweh. Okay, to bring forth this, or to bring that forth, man, in which it's all the will of Yahweh Shema Shai. It says, for the devil is come down unto you, all right, you people, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And so he knows he has a short time to rule, because the Most High didn't give this man, all right, or these people, all right, a time to rule forever. Because guess what? The Lord said his good pleasure, all right, his good will, all right, is to give his people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and every American man, woman, and child, the kingdom of heaven. And so he's just going to do that. All right, the Lord's going to do that. He's going to give us the kingdom of heaven, man. But it starts with this devil being taken out of power. But Esau, Edom, he knows. All right, so that's why, all right, these blackouts, you know, between France and Spain. All right, well, really, you know, all of the UK. We're just going to say that. It's happening because he's setting these stages up. He's setting these things up. All right. Can't forget about the whole we can't forget about the whole AI system that, you know, Trump about to build. All right, because all these things play a major part within this man's plans, infrastructure. All right. Trump announces a $500 billion AI infrastructure investment in the U.S. All right, in which we understand that this man is trying to bring forth the physical and virtual infrastructure to power the next generation of AI, including data centers around the country. Trump said Ellison said the group's first 1 million square foot data projects is already under construction in Texas. Okay, which, this could basically, back up the whole system. All right. And the effects of blackouts, from blackouts occurring, this could be put in place. All right. And which we understand where all this is leading to, man. It's all leading to Revelations, man, chapter 13, verse 15 on down. So, that was just this was just quick, lesson through spirit, man. Just being on that watchtower and letting you understand what's going on, man, because people they're gonna see this. You even got those people over there in the UK that experienced this and gonna go back to like things was normal, like nothing happened, man. But it's only gonna get worse from here. Okay, and you people are being tested on. You the test subjects. So, man, Lord willing, actually, I'm gonna close out with this once again. I'm gonna read this one more time. We're gonna read this one more time, man. The book of Ecclesiasticus, so Sirach chapter 5 and verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. So yeah, don't. All right, just because the power went off. I mean, that's actually a big thing. But some might think it's minute. It might be small. All right, because it came back on within a day. But you gotta understand, man. The technology that they have now is so advanced. Okay, and for these devils to say, the people that are in power, even prime minister or mayors or senators, whoever was speaking at that moment, for them to say they don't understand, they don't know what's going on, man, come on. They really lying to you people, man. They're not lying to the prophets, bro. All right, we already know what type of dude we're dealing with. We know what type of people we dealing with, man. All right, you people don't. All right. And even though the power came back on within a day or a couple hours, that still don't mean you undermine this as if it's something so little, because now you have your heat back on, your electricity, your Wi-Fi back on, etc., man. All this shit, man, it's all tactics of the devil, man, playing with you. Okay, preparing you and prepping you for the ultimate day, man, where this system crash and these devils bring forth these things that they're making plain in front of your face. 500 billion AI infrastructure investment in the U.S. That's just in the U.S. Okay, but how much more everywhere else? So, man, Lord, one of this lesson was edifying. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and infinite blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Akakwadash. I'm saying the water, Yahweh, Bahasham, Ashaf, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Till next time, I say Shalom, Wa Ba Shalom.